for Central Coast Fire and Rescue on today's date of August 21st. And call to order, let's see, announcement that the meeting is being streamed live on Central Coast YouTube channel, and if anyone has public comments or questions, they can comment on the live stream, and the questions will be relayed to the board members and answered at the end of the meeting. Do we do Pledge of Allegiance next?
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, roll call.
Judy Demicus,
Here.
Rick Booth,
Here.
John McCullough,
Here.
Rita Eckerman,
Here.
Greg Dunn,
Here.
Quorum is present.
All right. Approval of minutes, regular session minutes for July 17th. And I know Wendy, I'll just jump in real quick. Why don't you explain?
Do you want me to do that now, or do you want me to do that under my admin report?
Admin reports.
Admin report's fine. Okay, so is there any corrections?
I just have one.
Okay.
My name, I would prefer Dr. Themakis instead of Mrs. Themakis.
And I just want to clarify too. In
Just
between?
for formal, I mean,
Okay.
between us, it's Judy,
Okay,
but formally, Dr. Themakis instead of Mrs. Themakis.
sounds good. All right, anybody else? Can I get a motion to?
I move to approve the minutes as amended.
A second?
I'll second.
All right, it's been moved and seconded to approve the minutes with the added changes to Judy's formal title. Can I get a vote? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passed. All right. I need a student driver sticker on mine.
You're doing fine.
Yeah. Citizen participation?
Nothing
None? All right, reports. I know that Chief's report is in the computers for us to look over. He's
And I
enjoying
can
it.
help go over that at the end under his
Under
actual
Chief's report.
thing when we get there.
Okay. And then-
As far as maintenance goes, just working on our type 3, Chief's working on trying to get a grant to help offset the cost of the rebuilding of the pump. We chose to rebuild the pump instead of, because it had some issues, instead of buying new, so the savings about $10,000. So I've got it out, it's on the floor, it's about halfway put back together. Been fighting with a bolt the last couple of days, but other than that, there's really nothing else really going on that I can think of on top of the head.
Wow.
Me?
Staff. Yep.
And do you want to do volunteer real quick, and then I'll do mine, because mine's going to take a little longer.
Yeah, we can do that. You know more about
So-
people.
And it kind of falls in line with Chief's report, but we do have 2 new volunteer applications that I'm processing right now. And they'll be ready to go and all kind of onboarded and ready in time for academy. Bingo is, of course, 2 of you already know. We've got September and October. October will be our final one of the year, our big blowout party, whatever. If nobody wins it next month, though, I mean, it's gonna be the forced jackpot, so.
It'll be a really big
It'll
party.
be, yes,
September, what's the dates?
of bingo. Third Friday of the month.
Yeah.
So this month it was really weird, because normally bingo wouldn't be till tomorrow, but because we had, the first was a Friday, it made it really, it's always, usually follows the board meeting. So it should follow the board meeting next month.
September 19th.
And then October's will be on the 17th.
Yeah, so
If So the way I've got it figured out, just kind of looking at what we've been normally doing, if nobody wins the jackpot next month, October's jackpot will be $1,199. And that's our cutoff for paperwork. So,
Yeah.
because once we hit 1,200, there's a bunch of IRS paperwork involved on our side and whoever wins its side. So it's, yeah, we kind of keep under that if we can.
So you're just gonna keep playing that night until it went?
Basically, yeah.
So generally, the blackout game, we go 58 I make 58 calls, and then if nobody wins that within the 58 calls, then we
Cruise
just
to the next
continue
one.
going, and, but the jackpot, we take the winnings, and it's all listed over there. I think it's 30% of like raffles and the stuff that's not hard good, candies and whatnot. we don't
Food,
use.
basically.
Yeah, but then we take that 30% of that night and add it to the following month. So when we force it, or somebody wins it, the 30% starts the next month's jackpot.
Yeah. So it's been, we've had one that we've had to force a couple years ago, and an 8-year-old won it, so we had to make the check out to parents. Because the kids can play, they just, if
can't
they
win the
win
money.
over a certain amount, then you have to write a check, you have to write it to the guardian. So, which is kind of, I mean, an 8-year-old won it, so, oh, she just turned 10, so it was 2 years ago. There was something else, oh, and we got a nice cabinet donated by Best Western, so we're like all fancy now and I can lock everything up, and so I don't have to worry about stuff disappearing and stuff, not that it would, but, just more secure, so I think that was it.
Honestly, that whole back corner of the room looks really good.
I wanted to get it cleaned up, and it makes it, actually having the setup we had more space back there during bingo, because a lot of times, you get 3 or 4 cert people plus me back there, because Eric's usually up front, you feel really cramped. This time it felt so much nicer because we had more space. I did move the fridge back a little bit so that people wouldn't hit Jan in the back when she's sitting there in her chair. Because I was worried about that, so I was watching it during bingo. And so I kind of moved it, shifted it a little bit more, and so we'll check next month, and if I need to, I'll shift it a little bit more. So, because we got rid of the Pepsi machine. It had a Freon leak, so we weren't using it. And we actually got a donation for that. So that left earlier this month. Earlier this month.
Cool.
So that was nice, yeah.
All right.
That's it for volunteer stuff. So on mine, and you guys probably, I don't know if you all saw my email this morning that I did not mean to send that as the minutes. So I'm prepping for the ADA compliance stuff that's coming down for our website. So what I did is I took the minutes that Jan had sent me and threw them in a program that helps you determine what you need to change to make things ADA compliant. So basically, the only format change that I care about is the headings. So, and Jan and I just kind of talked about it. The font has to be Arial, which she already uses, but the heading, this has to be a heading. So the top part where it says Central Coast Fire and Rescue, the minutes, needs to be basically your heading 1. And then your call to order, Pledge of Allegiance, all those need to be heading 2. And they have to be 12 points font size or higher. So as far as it, for whatever reason, it took and summarized everything she said. It can be as detailed as you guys want, that's up to you. I just need those headings to be the way they are. And then if you notice, like under 8, it did 8.1, 8.2, 8.3 because of the staff reports. And then it did the same thing on 11 for under new business. It did 11.1, 11.2. It kind of wants it broke down like that because what it's doing when I convert it from a Word format to a PDF is it's putting tags in there for anybody who needs, like the, I don't know, the ADA visual, because like pictures have to have the alternate text. So it's basically kind of doing the same thing. I'm working on right now archiving all the old stuff that I can, but I need to have at least a full year's worth of stuff that is compliant on the website. So fair if I start now, less I have to do later, less work. This took about 2 hours to convert.
Yeah.
So having it already in that format makes it just easier. And I know you said you didn't get it, so I'll resend it, once we're done here, and everybody's good with it. So if you want the summary part of it, that's up to you, and however you guys want to do that. I just need the headings to be in that format.
Well, I certainly don't have a problem with reformatting. I would like to see more detail, though, in discussions, especially if there's a vote that's not unanimous. You know, one of the things that I find really difficult in researching sometimes is trying to figure out why people did what they did when they did.
Yeah,
And so, you know, I mean, if a vote is unanimous, well, it's pretty obvious what happened. Everybody decided they approved it. But if a vote's not unanimous, including the reason why can be very helpful, especially if a vote fails, for whatever reason. You know, I mean, someone might want to know, you know, what was going on or what the thinking was. So we had an incident not too long ago, wasn't with us, but at a council meeting where a council member voted against state revenue sharing. Now, it didn't really matter in the long run because the rest of the council voted for it. But if the rest of the council had decided to vote against that, I mean, that's free money from the state. That's, you know, that's the city's portion of 911 gas and liquor taxes, you know.
yeah.
Or, I mean, cigarette, liquor, and marijuana taxes. So, you know, why would you look it in the mouth? So that kind of thing makes it easier.
Yeah, and I don't know why the program itself changed it to a summary, because all I put in, because it was a program to check your compliance and to get help, and it was just like a free one to get help with your format, but it does, so in my research and going through with our website people, because I did a whole kind of online thing with them, it's mainly your font size and your headings and your type of font that you're using. As far as the details you put in it, that doesn't matter. If you want, you know, as much detail as Jan does now, then you can do that. It won't affect that part of it. It's looking at those key headings, so that somebody can look at it and go, oh, okay, that's where they did their Pledge of Allegiance. That's where they discussed this and kind of thing. So that part, however you guys want on the detail, just for the format purposes to keep us compliant on the website, is just the headings. And it's literally heading 1, heading 2, and then the numbered format. Because the agenda's fine. The agenda doesn't have any compliance issues. I just changed those to headings, and changed the font size, and I think I changed the font. So you notice it's a little bit bigger, so we're back to 2 pages when we have extra stuff. I know we were really good about getting it down to 1 page, but if you look, there's like it jumped to the back page, just slightly on there. But that format is still fine on that. It's just, I think bigger and better is kind of their thing. That's kind of what I've been learning on those, so.
Well, I think it makes it easier to do the minutes if you don't have to put in, you know, a huge amount of detail, but, you know, enough so that.
I mean, if all of this could show up on this format, I wouldn't, I mean, if it's truly just a format change, but we're still carrying all of our details.
So you can put the details in there. I mean, if there's stuff on there that needs more details, that's easy to add in, but if.
Otherwise, it's like bullets instead of narrative.
Right. Basically, you're basically following along the agenda and doing the bullet points of the agenda and just typing in the summary notes of that and stuff on there. And then if you need to add more details, you can add more details to it. So it might make your minutes go a little quicker.
Well, she's already pretty quick.
I know she is. I get a kick out of when I get them from her, and it's like 2 days later, and she goes, "It took me so long."
Yeah, well, I think we can certainly work on the,
Yeah, and I meant to send you both of them at the same time so you could compare them and see what they were.
well, I looked at it and went, who did those minutes?
Well, I know. Well, and she didn't get my original email, because when I originally did it, I sent it to her to say, okay, here's, what I'm proposing for to make us ADA compliant and stuff. And then, John brought it up, and I was like, no, the current one should have been in there.
Yeah, that's because I texted him, I said, I know the council just went through this, and they decided to go with summary
Summary,
minutes.
yeah, and I
But that
remember-
was after a council discussion, and we
Right.
haven't had a discussion yet.
No,
so, yeah.
no, meant for you guys to actually have the discussion and see it and compare, so it does make it a lot, easier to read if you're
So I do,
blind.
on the agenda though, in the original format,
It was just smaller font.
it was just smaller font.
Yep.
So just for my learning curve, when we're doing, because I know we're gonna have an executive session
Mhm.
later in the meeting, can we list, the executive sessions in accordance with the ORS number? Or do I have to say that?
Yeah, the best way to handle that, so there's no question, because a lot of people don't read to the very end of something, is if there's an executive session, you put the reason for the executive session next to the heading, executive session. So it'd
Oh, you
be
mean
executive session pursuant to XYZ,
So you mean
on the agenda, yeah.
So you mean because normally it's right here.
I know, but
And
that's,
which is kinda
that's
where-
at the end, and,
Yeah, so you're talking putting it
yeah,
next to
yeah.
just
You
the
know.
whole thing or just the ORS?
You can I think you can probably just go ahead and put the number, of the ORS,
Because I could leave
and then put the
this
detail at the end.
okay.
Yeah, because that would keep the agenda simpler, but it does, kind of show at a glance that it's
Yeah.
why we're having it.
We can do that.
Okay.
So do we,
Especially when it drops it to the back too.
Well, I think, do we want a formal motion to go to the new format? I mean, that would certainly make it a lot cleaner, I suppose, or simply
Because
a,
eventually we're gonna have to anyways, from what I'm
Yeah.
understanding.
well, it sounds
Yeah,
like we're
it
being
sounds like it's-
directed by the ADA.
by the
to do this.
ADA, yeah.
But I think since
It's
we have
the-
options of it being either summary format or detailed format, I think we should clarify that we still want our minutes to be detailed.
Detail, yeah.
Yeah.
That's all.
But in the ADA compliant.
If you
So you
want
can do a
it-
detailed in ADA format?
If you want the actual, what it is, it's the WCAG, ADA compliance. WCAG, which is, website accessibility,
right.
basically. We're not required to be fully ADA compliant till 2027, but as long as it is taking for PDFs to get converted and for them just to tell me on our website which ones, because it's running through all of them that are on there. And it's only about 20% done, and it's been doing it for 5 months. Because there's a lot, because it's not just our minutes, it's everything that goes on there that's PDF.
Yeah.
And you can't put anything on there that's a Word document, it's all PDF or image. So as it gets done with a section, if it's old enough, I can hit archive, and it'll archive it. Now, if somebody ever wants a copy of it in an accessible format, then I would have to go in and convert that particular one and give it to them, but that'd be through like a public records request. And at that point, I can just do it. There is a way, and I'm trying to avoid having to do it because they charge a lot, is they will do it for you. They'll archive, they'll convert, and I'd rather not do that. I'd rather us just do it now and get the format so that as we start going forward, we're already compliant, and then the ones that I'll only have like this year, from January to now to convert.
Well, we can create our own bullet points, right?
Yes,
Okay, so we can handle that by creating the bullet points and then putting whatever detail we want to have behind that bullet point.
Right.
Right now, it was going through an existing document, trying to figure out
Right.
what detail
Right.
to put in. But if
Yeah.
we already start with that in mind,
Right.
we should be able to satisfy both requirements.
And
Yeah,
while we
and
are
that's
going,
that's why I used an existing one to kind of see what it would do and how it would look, so that you could kind of see how, you know, it might kind of look. And then, because I have the Word format, and then I have the PDF one because I wanted to check the tags and everything else, so that I can send it to Jan and she could kind of use it, if she wants to save it, use it kind of as a template of, and then
Right.
add whatever needs to be added to
Yeah.
it and stuff too, make it a little easier.
so I guess what I'm saying too, then, is, like, you did this for this. So
Right.
this is what this is the, right? So I would say that since you're going back to January 1, you know, to make it retroactive, if this document is still accessible to, you know, if somebody says, oh God, I want to go look at the details of February whatever meeting, while this might be what's online, this version of it, we can still, if anybody really wants to see all the detail behind this document, then they can do a request for information. Because like you said, going forward, all of this detail is gonna be in this format,
Right.
because it's
Yeah.
being done first time.
As far as the online ones, all I have to do, because I save them all, when Jan sends them to me, is go in and just change the headings. Now that I know what headings it's wanting to do, that's all I have to do for the online portion of it. The one that's in the book, the signed one in the book, stays the same. Those don't have to be changed at all. It's
Okay.
just for the website.
Yeah, but going forward, we don't want to generate two sets
No.
of minutes,
No,
so.
no, 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 no.
No, please don't.
Absolutely.
No.
No.
Yeah,
Okay,
okay.
so,
And then the only other thing on the agenda, you'll notice, that it did, because I did the same, it put page one of however many at the bottom. That was the only addition, besides changing the font size.
Okay.
So if it is front or back, because I'm trying to save paper.
Well, I'll go ahead and make a motion that we move to the ADA compliant format for minutes. And, yeah, I think that's really all I need to say.
I'll second
I
that.
second it.
Oh, go ahead. Nope, go ahead.
I second it.
all right, so I have a motion and a second to approve the new format going forward, and to do the archival up to the first of the year, in the same format, and then fill in after that as you have time for, actually.
Yeah,
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passed.
thank you. Because, yeah, by the time we have to be compliant, then we'll have 2 years' worth of compliant ones already on the website.
That's good.
Cool. Union report. Nada?
Nothing this time, thank you.
All right. Finances.
Hey. Well, not a whole lot, because we just started the fiscal year, so there's not a whole lot to discuss at this point in time. At the end of the month, we had, end of July, we had $176,952 in the bank, and we had drawn $100,000 from the line of credit anticipation, and then we just drew another one just recently. Other than that, I really don't have much.
So is that the 142 that I see on the first page as being the line credit? Showing it?
The line of credit would be, it would show up under the P and L,
Oh, okay.
under the, the P and L. It'll show as revenue.
Right.
And it's in accounts payable because we have to, it's due back to them.
Okay. Anything else?
I didn't really have any questions, right?
I'll motion we accept the financials and pay the bills.
I'll second.
So I have a motion to accept.
We're just comparing notes, so we make sure we
Okay.
have the same paper.
Okay.
Yeah, we're good.
Good? All right. So we have a motion and a second to accept the financial report and pay the bills. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Initiation time.
Resolution.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So now, first time on prime time, John gets to read resolutions. So, Resolution 2025-03, a resolution authorizing bank account signature addition, whereas the Central Oregon Coast Fire and Rescue District has authoritative power to create and maintain checking accounts, equipment, levy funds, reserve funds, et cetera, to maintain the operation of the district. Now therefore be it resolved that the Central Oregon Coast Fire and Rescue District hereby authorizes the following bank account changes for the Central Oregon Coast Fire and Rescue District. Add new district board member Judy Temekis as an account signer for Oregon Coast Bank checking account, operating account, last four 9061, and two Oregon Coast Bank General Public Funds money market account, last four 8726, approved and adopted by the Board of Directors of the Central Oregon Coast Fire and Rescue District on this 21st day of August 2025, signed by Board President.
Oh, you don't have to go through that part.
So,
I move we accept, what was the number of the resolution?
this one is 2025-03.
2025-03.
And I second that.
All right. So it's been moved and seconded to accept Resolution 2025-03. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, next. Supplemental budget, amending budget for fiscal year 2024-2025. This is District Resolution 2025-04. Whereas ORS 294.338, Section 2 provides for the expenditure of grants, gifts, or devices transferred to a municipal corporation in trust for specific purpose. Whereas ORS 294.471 provides for requirements as to estimates and limitation of expenditures during the fiscal year or budget period for which the original budget was adopted. The governing body of a municipal corporation may make one or more supplemental budgets. Therefore, the Central Oregon Coast Fire and Rescue District Governing Board resolves that Central Oregon Coast Fire and Rescue District budget appropriations for the fiscal year of 2024-25 are hereby amended as follows. General Fund, requirements or expenditure, 8010, gross wages, base wages, amount increased 145,000. 8010, gross wages, conflag, increased 26,213.31 cents. 810, gross wages overtime, increased $2,500. 8011, FICA, increased $13,289.07. 8012, SUTA, increased $4,169.12. 8014, PERS, increased $55,000. 8016, Workman's Comp, increased $5,211.40. 8400, Operating Contingency, decreased $10,000. And reserve for future expenditures decreased $241,382.90. To amend and budget for an increase in personal expenses for the fiscal year 24-25 and general employee pay adjustments. District General Governing Board at the Board of Directors meeting on August 21st, 2025. Adopted by the General Governing Board for the Central Oregon Coast Fire and Rescue District on this 21st day of August 2025. Can I get a motion for District Resolution 2025-04?
I'll motion for 2025-04 to accept the resolution.
And I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded for Resolution 2025-04. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All right. But wait, there's more. Central Oregon Coast Fire and Rescue District Resolution 2025-05, supplemental budget, amending the budget for fiscal year 2024-2025, whereas Oregon 294.338, Provision 2 provides for the expenditure of grants, gifts, and devices transferred to a municipal corporation and trust for specific purposes, whereas ORS 294.471 provides for requirements as to estimates and the limitations of expenditures during the fiscal year or budget period for which the original budget was adopted. The governing body of the municipal corporation may make one or more supplemental budgets. Therefore, the Central Oregon Coast Fire and Rescue District Governing Board resolves that Central Oregon Coast Fire and Rescue District budget appropriations for the fiscal year 2024-2025 are hereby amended as follows. In the general fund, requirement of or expenditure, OSFM wildfire grant revenue increased by $70,000. Section 8010 OFSM wages increased $37,241.66. 8011 FICA increased $2,848.99. 8012 SUTA increased $904.90. 8029 payroll expenses, other, $14 increase. 8300 OSFM wildfire grant expenses, increased $4,800. Reserved for future expenditures, $24,190.45 increase. The budget for OFSM, Oregon State Fire Marshal wildfire grant wages, payroll, taxes, PERS, and related expenses not budgeted for but received for the fiscal year 2024-2025. District General Governing Board at the Board of Directors meeting on August 21st, 2025, adopted by the General Governing Board of the Central Oregon Coast Fire and Rescue District on this 21st day of August 2025. And again, a motion and second for Resolution 2025-05.
I move we accept Resolution 2025-05.
I second. Judy second.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? None. Motion carries. And last but not least, Resolution 2025-07, supplemental budget, amending the budget for fiscal year 2024-2025. I'm gonna dream these next two paragraphs tonight. Whereas ORS 294-3382 provides for the expenditures, grants, gifts, or devise transferred to a municipal corporation and trust for a specific purpose, whereas ORS 294-471 provides for requirements as to estimates and limitation of expenditures during the fiscal year or budget period for which the original budget was adopted. The governing body of the municipal corporation may make one or more supplemental budgets. Therefore, the Central Oregon Coast Fire and Rescue District Governing Board resolves that Central Oregon Coast Fire and Rescue District budget appropriations for the fiscal year 24-25 are hereby amended as follows. Under the general fund, requirements or expenditures, 60/50 miscellaneous income, decreased that by $65,000. Reserved for future expenditures, increased by $65,000. To amend the budget for an increase in materials revenue for the fiscal year 24-25, District General Governing Board of the Board of Directors meeting on August 21st, 2025, adopted by the General Governing Board for Central Oregon Coast Fire and Rescue District on this 21st day of August 2025. Can I get a motion and a second?
I move to approve Resolution 2025-06,
07.
or 07, sorry.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
A suggestion. in the future, when we have a supplemental budget resolution, or we need several of them, we can put them all in one and just divide them out into sections.
Yeah, I'll do
Yeah,
that.
You enjoyed that a little too much, though.
He's brand new, he needs to be wore out early.
Yes.
He needs to practice. I was just watching her, she was just over there smiling.
I know, I was.
Because it wasn't her this time.
I've been in that seat before.
Need my little tin cup over. All right. Old business.
What do we have, Nate?
I guess under old business, since we don't have, but maybe we'll make a line item for the committees. Remember, we were gonna add,
We can put that under, we were trying, I was trying to decide if you want, did you want it under reports? Or did you want it under,
it would
or
always
do
be.
you want it
under
as
old-
a separate line item?
Yeah, probably a separate line item in the, but anyway.
Board
for-
commit, just put
We could
board
do
committees?
board reports or.
Right.
Board
you know,
reports, okay.
Yeah, yeah, something
So,
like that.
Judy and I went down to Yahatz's board meeting for the previous month, and I made my proposal to them for them to select two of their board members to be appointed as a committee within their board to meet with our committee within our board for the purposes of discussing consolidation. There was some questions about, the formality, and I told them that it falls under, that it is an official committee, so it falls under public meeting law, so that there will be, whether we have the meeting here or we have a meeting there, either district will have to supply the individual to take full minutes, and those minutes would be distributed across both boards, in this type of a setting going forward. They were extremely receptive to that, and we are on their agenda for their next board meeting for them to select a couple of folks to get together with us. Another interesting question that came up by one of their staff people was whether or not we were going to invite Seal Rock. And I told them that at that point in time, that Seal Rock had made it very public that they had no intention of having any interaction with us regarding consolidation or intergovernmental agency agreements, any of that. So that as of right now, know that they were not going to participate. The secondary question to that was, if they were to change their mind, would we allow them to join in? And I told them, absolutely. I said, they could call me today, tomorrow, whenever, and say, we've thought about it, and we've reconsidered, and we would like to be a part of the discussions of looking at consolidation. I said, and they would be welcome at the table just like everybody else. And that's where we left it. So.
Have we gotten anything formal from them in that
From who?
regard? What I'm wondering is would it
Formal
be
from whose?
from Seal Rock?
So what Seal Rock did in their last board meeting was, give me just a half a second.
Well, and the reason I'm.
Well, and I don't
yeah.
have the exact number, but in their July board meeting, which immediately followed ours on the same day, they passed a resolution unanimously with a lot of language in it that is patently false, but irregardless of what they wrote in it, their board unanimously agreed that they will not engage with us on any type of consolidation or IGA discussions until we change, until we get our financial mess in order, because that's what they're claiming, that our leadership and our guidance from our chief, until all of this changes, they will not engage. To be perfectly honest with you, that document and before Chief went on vacation, all of that information was forwarded to our attorneys to look at on what possible
So I think the
recourse
question,
we could
Rita asked the same question, is it in writing?
It is in writing,
Okay.
Yeah.
and it has been, it's in writing, it's signed, and it's a public document, and it was actually reported on by Yahats News.
Yeah, I just want to make
Okay.
sure that their
Yeah.
document is,
So
Yeah.
that's,
Okay, all right, well, you know,
it's too bad.
we're still
But given-
very early in this
Right.
process.
And,
anyway.
but, you know, given their resolution and all of that, and that was one of the reasons why the question came up, is if they were to come back and say, hey, you know, we've reconsidered and stuff, I would tell them the same thing. It's like, okay, you guys select 2 people from your board, create that committee, and then we will include them in meetings going forward.
Yeah.
That's where we are.
Okay, all right.
My question is, this is not a Central Coast-led board, this is a committee-led board.
Hmm?
This is a committee-led board, it's not led by Central Coast.
No, this is a committee. And to be clear, all this committee is doing is looking at the consolidation through the lens of the ORSs that are very specific in how we do this, and that if all boards that are ultimately involved in this agree, then essentially what happens is that there is a set of ballot measures that gets put onto a ballot, onto an election cycle at some point in the future, and it's up to the people to decide whether or not we ultimately do this or not. We are just the messengers.
Yep.
All right. Anything else for old business?
No, I think that,
All right.
I don't have.
Do we have any new business? All right. Chief's report, obviously, he's still vacationing, but it's was made available for us to look at if anybody had any questions.
And there was a couple things that he talked to me about, just kind of briefly touching base on, because I'm pretty familiar with it. He's still waiting to hear back from Ford Family Foundation on the funds for grant stuff. I know Eric's been working on cataloging the tires and stuff at Tidewater. And then the academy, of course, starts October 14th. We do have other districts interested, so right now, we have 2 of our new volunteers. We have 2 other volunteers coming on next month, and then 3 others throughout I think Newport had a couple people, and Yahats. So right now, we have 7 people pending for the academy. And then trying to get community college campus to use for kind of the classroom stuff for that. So, and then I know the bay doors have been ordered.
Yeah, that was the other part I was gonna mention.
He had it
today.
on here, so.
No, yeah, so the bay doors have been ordered, and I just got notice that they're on the way from the manufacturer to the distributor in Portland. So as soon as they get to the distributor in Portland, all the stuff, they'll call me to schedule a time to have it dropped off, which still could be a week or so, because it's all on a truck. So it's coming across the country right now,
Cool.
but they're on their way.
Very cool.
But yeah.
That's it? All right, well, so I am suspending,
No,
Closing.
we're
what are we doing?
We're adjourning to executive session
Adjourning.
pursuant to ORS 1926602F to consider information or records that are exempt by law from public inspection.
Perfect. So we are reconvening in the open session without any actions.
No decisions have been made.
And no decisions have been made. So, is there anything for the good of the order?
Why I think of these things at night, I have no idea, and please, don't take this the wrong way, but, so I'm laying in bed, just doing my thing, we're thinking, if something ever happens to you, God forbid, nothing ever does anyone else, because you do so much, does anyone else have
Yes.
the ability, because you do the cameras, you do the truck, so there is another person.
Yeah, well, so as far as live streaming, Wendy could probably muddle through it.
Right.
But that's not a required thing.
Right.
The mechanic stuff, I just do it in-house to help save money.
All the cameras.
All the cameras is all a Ring system, and yes, Wendy has access to that. She also has access to this phone, which has got everything.
Okay.
on it. She knows the little passcode for it.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is a district-owned phone, and it's got the Ring on it, it's got all the heating system on it.
Yeah, I was just like, I wonder if there's a second person.
Yeah, so, I know, I had just had to do a questionnaire, I think it was for the auditor. Wendy forwarded it to me, anyhow, it was asking similar questions. Who all has control, and I think it was more, how many people have control of this stuff versus what you're worried about,
Right.
which is a legitimate concern, and yes, I've thought about that, because especially after a couple years ago, having a stroke,
Yeah.
there's a few things there that
Yeah.
some people needs to know. And Wendy also has a book, a hard copy book, that's got every password to like our Microsoft account, to Jump Cloud, which maintains all our usernames. She's got access to all of that.
So we're protected, okay. No, I don't know why I thought about that one night, but I was just like,
And that book is in a safe place.
Yes, she's got it locked up, so it's locked in, not in, only in her office.
Don't tell us where
Yeah,
it's
don't tell us
locked
where
up.
it's
Okay, but yeah, it's,
Jesus.
Mason, you gotta keep some security stuff for you right now?
Yeah.
oh yeah, we're live, Eric, shut up. Anyway, yes, she's got it very secure, it's locked up actually twice, so.
Okay. All right.
All right.
Good
That's-
question.
Yeah,
I don't know why I thought about that, I was just like laying there, I'm like, God, he does so much, what if something happens to him?
I honestly, after the stroke, I went through and started doing back checks, because there wasn't honestly up to that point until, and then after the stroke, I went, oh, yeah, we need to protect the district and the public from that, if I get a car wreck, anything, so, yeah, so after that, I started double checking things and making a plan for other people to have access. Chief also has access, but he,
Yeah.
whether he.
Access and ability to use are two different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All righty, well, anything else? No? Well,
It sounds like Greg's been staying up all night taking care of it for you.
All right, we're gonna adjourn the Central Oregon Coast Fire and Rescue Board meeting on the 21st as of 5:15.